Palipat-lipat ka ba ng trabaho at hindi mo na alam kung saan ka ba talaga? Naku, wag mag-alala kasi makaka-relate ka dito sa ating episode ngayon sa Changed by Faith. Kasama niyo po Cheska San Diego-Bobadilla at lahat ng tinanong ko kanila, naranasan na yan ni Kriz Muñoz. Kasama natin si Kriz ay isang, kumbaga yung larangan niya, nasa HR siya ngayon, learning and development, yung kanyang expertise at marami pang ibang susunod kasi from one work to another, to another, to another. Yan yata naging experience mo. Chris, welcome.
Oh, thank you for having me here.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Medyo kinakabahan ako because this is the first time that I'm gonna be in a podcast. But thank you everyone for inviting me here.
Pero hindi na bago sa'yo ang pagsasalita sa harap ng maraming tao, sa pagte-train. Kumbaga yung pagsasalita sa harap ng audience, hindi na bago sa'yo yun.
Yes. I've been in the industry for 14 years.
Okay.
So, mostly talking in front of people, being with people, yes.
So, ikaw ngayon ay nasa HR, tsaka yung learning and development and mga trainings, yan talaga yung kumbaga kinareer mo na for the past 14 years.
Yes. Ang ganda kasi when you're in this industry, you're helping people eh. You're building their capability, you're building and helping them, equipping them. Alam mo yun. So it's a different kind of industry because you're not just for your career, but you're there to help people.
Oo. So may mga may mga kumpanya na into services, 'di ba? May mga kumpanya na into products din.
Yes.
Pero lahat 'yan kailangan ng magte-train ka ng tao.
Correct, correct. Kumbaga may core product pero meron din talaga yung extended services. Yun yung I think the role of training and development.
Oo. So dun ka nahasa ng todo.
Oo, as in I started from the lowest and then now I'm here.
Pero doon sa 14 years na yun, hindi lang yata iisang company. Yung napagtrabahuhan mo, napasukan mo, iba't iba na to.
Oo. I had an experience with different industries. So, meron tayong air company, meron na rin retail. Alam mo yun, everything, parang konti lang industries na hindi ko na pasukan. Pati BPO, I also tried BPO before.
Okay. So, iba't iba man ang products or services na ino-offer ng mga companies na yan. Medyo na nagkaroon ka ng sneak peek, nagkaroon ka ng experience kung paano i-train yung mga tao at saka yung iba't ibang skill set na kailangang i-improve nila.
Yes. And you'll see also not only the points for improvement, but you will also see different strengths of people eh. Sa ilang years na nandun ako sa industry na to.
Okay. Kanina yung intro ko, no? Dahil ilan na ba, kung mabibilang mo ba, ilang companies na yung napaglipatan mo?
Oh, wow.
Nasubukan mo?
Parang na to age reveal. Magiging age reveal. Siguro I've been with 7 or 8 companies.
Okay.
But the longest, yung most recent na 3 companies that I've been. So, yeah, ang dami. I cannot count. I started with the airline industry, and then recruitment agency. Then I joined BPO, yung business process outsourcing before pa. That was way back 2010. And then went back to the recruitment agency, oil and gas. I cannot even count. And then the beauty company.
Okay.
Another beauty company, and then the current company that I'm working. So 8 in
talaga.
total. Yes.
Okay. Ngayon kasi, kumbaga, kahit before pa naman, or hanggang ngayon nasabi nila, iba na yung work landscape. Diba? Pero it still stands na kapag medyo matagal yung exposure mo sa certain job na to, or sa certain company na to, ay, parang good point yan. Kasi mukhang stable tong taong to. Mukhang okay siyang i-hire or i-promote. Pero in terms of yung mga, yun kasi ang worry ng mga ibang tao na palipat-lipat, minus point daw yun eh. Parang less pogi points, kumbaga.
For me, siguro what I'd like to share is that yun ba yung season where God is calling you? That's the most important thing eh. Kasi if we say that we believe God, we should follow wherever He goes.
Okay.
So if God is redirecting you, to another season, to another company, where He is calling you sa bagong assignment mo, then you should follow. You go there.
Okay.
So for me, sa experience ko dun sa 8 na lipat-lipat ko ng work, each time that God transitions me to another company, He gives me the ability and open doors. So for me, madaling i-pitch yung voice ko or yung cause ko, the reason why I want to transfer to another company, dun sa mga nag-i-interview sa akin. So for me, I think ang masasuggest ko sa mga tao that are watching this is that you ask God.
Okay.
Kasi
Consult God first.
Yes. Seek Him first. Kasi if you have a word, lakas na loob mo nalilipat ka.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter, balik ako dun sa question mo kanina, it doesn't matter kung, di ba, yung landscape nga, sasabihin kapag matagal ka, stable to, level-headed to, alam mo yun, long-term, yung kaya niya i-commit. And then this one, lipat ng lipat. Paano kung parang mission field yung treatment mo sa work mo?
Okay.
So it doesn't matter if it's a long-term or short-term, as long as you've heard it from God, that it's your time to be there.
Na mission accomplished ka na dyan.
Yes.
Go to the next mission.
Exactly.
Ang ganda, no? Ang gandang,
Diba?
kumbaga, realization or mindset din ng ganun. Kasi, ngayon ang pagtingin natin, naku, baka minus points kasi sabi nila, ba't hindi ka man lang tumagal ng 1 year? Ba't hindi ka man lang tumagal ng 3 years? Kumbaga, may pagdududa on their part kung ano ka ba talaga hireable.
Yeah. Meron din mga gano experiences. But to add to that, ang naalala ko lang is that, di ba, inobey mo si God. That's the first. The second is, the blessing will follow. That's in
Okay.
Deuteronomy 28, right? If you obey God, the blessings will follow. You don't have to chase it. You'll be blessed in the city and you will be blessed in the country. Therefore, pag inisip mo siya, people will be used by God to open that door for you. So even your interviewer, gugulat ka na parang, naalala ko lang, can I just add this? There was this one big person who interviewed me. And sabi ko, sir, thank you. You're not judging me. Kasi lipat ako ng lipat ng work. This was before I landed the job dun sa pinakamatagal kong workplace. And he said, I don't judge people because I know there's a reason why you left.
Okay.
So see, because of that example, I can attest to you or to everyone watching this na if you obey God, susunod na rin dun yung may tatap siyang tao to help you land the job. Kasi open na yung door.
Okay. And timing is really essential din.
Yes.
Okay?
Timing din. Kasi sometimes may promise ka kay God, uunahan mo siya, na-excite ka. So you also need to have time for everything, di ba? In Ecclesiastes nga, it says that there's a time for everything and a season for every activity. Having said that, parang pag inisip mo, nga Lord, ang galing ng timing.
Sakto.
Sakto talaga. Alam mo, Cheska, for example, ito yung isang, I'm not saying maghanap tayo ng signs pero kasi 'di ba, my sheep hears my voice and they know me.
Yes.
So if you know the voice of God, alam na alam mo kapag sinasabi niya na it's time to go.
Pag may prompt.
Yes,
Diba? Pag may prompt na siya.
Sorry for the word. Prompt na nga pala ang tawag doon ngayon.
Kasi AI generation.
Parang ganun. AI generation. So, if you think about it, prompt ka ni Lord na it's time to go. And when it's time to go, ang galing ng timing. Why? Una, for me, for example, mawawalan ka na ng zest or ng life for that certain assignment. And then, mafe-feel mo lang, bakit may heart ako for this one, this kind of job. For example, I prefer to contextualize sa industry ako or sa workplace ko. I love training people. I love coaching people. But there are certain areas na bigla kang ma-assign na, nawawalan ako ng zest for this kind of admin task or this accounting task, project management task. It's because pinaprom ka ni Lord na ito talaga yung strength mo, anak. This is where I want you to be used.
Okay. Kailan, Chris, nagsimula yung ganyang, kumbaga, ganyang usapan or dynamics nyo ni God? Kasi sabi mo nga, 14 years. In that 14 or 15 years, nakailang lipat ka na. From the very beginning ba, nag-usap na kayo ni Lord or nakilala mo na si God na, Lord, ikaw bahala kung saan mo ako pagtatrabahuhin, anong companies na papasukan ko, or as you go along, tsaka mo na lang siya unti-unting natutunan.
Yeah. Parang tama ka. As I went with God and then walked with Him, mas magkakaroon ka kasi ng keen ears eh. And that's why it's important that we read the Bible.
Na nakikinig ka.
Yeah! Kasi sometimes, diba, we have all the time in the world and then we just doom scroll. Pero we don't read the Word of God. Even podcast, even yung sa mga Spotify or YouTube, you can listen to the Word of God and then magugulat ka na lang that He's speaking to you because para
may
siyang
messages,
ganito.
no?
Yeah. Para siyang tayo, di ba? We're friends, for example. You know me, kahit anong number ang gamitin ko. If I call you, you know it's Kriz. Especially your voice. For example, I know it's Cheska. I know you're the one who, for example, did this voiceover. Because I'm keen to your ears.
Kasi lagi mo akong kausap.
Yes.
Okay.
It's like that. So, I'd like to encourage everyone na if you really want to know the will of God for you, first, you have to start with the relationship with Him.
So, dapat malalim na relationship. Dapat close na kayo.
And any relationship naman, diba? I think it's important to build a relationship. Yun talaga yun eh. In any relationship, diba, you start with being friends, being intentional. That's the word. I think that's the word. We need to be intentional in our walk with Him. Kasi everybody wants an ATM God.
Okay.
I want to point that out. Ang dami kong nakikita ngayon sa mga podcast na parang, here's the 5 steps, here's the 10 steps to be God.
Ay, yung mga tips, ganyan.
Yeah,
Follow
parang,
these steps, di ba?
Yeah, follow these steps and you'll have a great career. But no. I mean, if you really want to have, sabi nga, if you lack wisdom, ask it from God. The best person to ask, where am I going? Where to step next? What to do next? Siya yun eh.
Oo.
Siya yun talaga. And I can attest. Kasi I wouldn't be where I'm right now kung wala si God.
Kung walang guidance, no?
Yeah. Alam mo yun, sabi ko nga minsan, Lord, bakit matanda na kasi ako nung nasa-save ako? I was like 26. So, alam mo, adult na. And looking at some of our friends from the church, parang nare-realize ko lang, or I sometimes I think about it, na sila na-save youth pa sila. And then their decisions are really more leaning towards the wisdom of God. And mas magandang trajectory nung nagiging career nila, life nila overall. And if we really seek God, alam mo yung the blessings will follow eh. Yun talaga yung parati kong iniisip na, wow Lord, no? Kung iisipin mo talaga, if we only seek you first, all things will be added unto us.
Nasabi mo kanina yung nawawalan ka na ba ng zest, nawawalan ka ba ng gana? Nalilipat na ba yung gana mo sa ibang bagay? Eto, marami siguro makaka-relate niya na parang, dapat bang sundin yung, hindi na ako happy dun sa work ko ngayon, or iba ba yun?
Good point. Iba din yun eh. Kasi that's also our flesh, our own self, saying na, I'm not saying na if you follow God, it will be like a bed of roses na all will be well. No, that's not the life that Jesus promised. In fact, in His word, He said that, in this life, you will have trouble.
Tribulations, correct.
Right? But I have overcome the world. May blessings, yes. But the difference is, when you are a real follower of Christ, protection comes.
Correct.
So even if you undergo challenges, problems, andun yun. So going back to your question, yung hindi na ako happy Question, ikaw ba yung dapat masunod? Yung happiness mo ba? Or are you leaning to what God says, the joy of the Lord will be your strength?
Yes.
Magkaibang joy,
Oo.
magkaiba yung happiness.
Oo. Tsaka, ano bang basis ng happiness nga natin? Di ba? Sa trabaho natin. So, what makes us very sure na kapag lumipat ako dito, happy siya?
Right,
Diba?
right. Kasi, if you think about it, diba, His ways are higher than our ways. His
Mhm.
thoughts are higher than our thoughts. So, the best person to ask kung tayo nga, diba, do you drive?
Yes.
Diba, we drive, we use Waze, we use Google. We ask them to help us
Directions.
direction, like
Mhm.
going here. Even if I'm also from here, I had to ask Waze kung ano yung mas magandang route coming to the studio today. So, it's like that. We really need to lean to His thoughts because it's higher than ours. So, when we say na, hindi na ako happy, Lord ang tanong nga doon parate is, tapos na ba yung mission mo?
Oo nga.
Doon sa workplace na yon. Paano kung ikaw pala yung gagamitin ni Lord na salt and light
Mhm.
for that company, 'di ba? For your workmates.
Mhm.
Kasi alam mo, just parang na-realize ko, we always do find people in the church na gusto natin i-disciple kasi ready na yan or gusto natin i-reach out. But if you come to think of it, marami pang pwedeng i-harvest sa workplace.
Okay.
Kaya ako, parati ko sinasabi na let's have that heart also to be the salt and light in the workplace.
So kung nasaan ka man nilalagay ni God ngayon, may mission pa si God sa'yo dyan.
Just like campus missionaries, they're in the campus, right?
Mhm.
There are also people working full-time in the church.
Mhm.
We are also called to be salt and light, diba? Here I am, Lord, send me. We always sing that song, but are we willing to stay when the going gets tough?
Mhm.
Are we willing to walk the talk pag nandun na yung sitwasyon na medyo mahirap? And I'm telling you, I mean, I've also, just like you, nag-usap tayo kanina na ilang years na tayo parehas nag-work. Hindi madali yung life Wala namang madali. We're
Walang
not yet in
trabahong
heaven.
madali. Diba? Kahit saan yan.
Yeah, kahit saan ka pumunta, merong hirap. It's just that, kaya ako pinipitch yung idea that I'm also a believer of StrengthsFinder Are you familiar with the book? Diba? Ganda yung book na yun Na if you operate in your strengths, mas madali kasing magtrabaho. It's not work anymore. Because God gave you that ability to produce wealth.
Mhm.
So, if you operate in your strengths and you do it because you love God, nagfo-flow yung blessing kasi out of the abundance of the heart, not only the mouth speaks, but your output also shows it.
Okay. So, hindi lang excitement or yung zest ang dapat mong tignan or alamin or i-determine sa pagpili ng work or paglipat or pagstay, di ba? Yung ano mo din, yung purpose mo at saka yung kahit nahihirapan, gagawin mo kasi alam mong hindi pa tapos yung mission mo dyan.
Yes. Iiyak ka, of course. I'm telling
Hirapan
you, you'll
ka.
have nights that you will cry and then ask God, teka, kailan ba mag-open yung door for me? But you know, what I saw and I've experienced, diba? There's also a word that says that taste and see that the Lord is good. Parang yung Starbucks na iniinom ng mga kasama natin yan dito sa studio. If you think about it, hanggang di mo matikman yung certain flavor ng Starbucks, for example, na may bagong Starbucks flavor, hindi mo masasabing, masarap yan and all. So, for me, having an experience with God for the battles He won in the past makes me so sure and so confident that this time around, even if my challenges, even if my problems, He will be there with me.
Kahit bagong trabaho pa yan.
Yes, exactly. He will equip you Where He calls, He equips.
Correct.
Kasi ang mundo, diba, worldview says that fake it until you make it. But for me, faith it until you make it.
Ang ganda nun, okay.
Alam mo, you need to step out in faith. Kasi, if you think about it, we're here for a reason. Who will be the hands? Who will be the feet? Who will be the mouth? Tayo yun. Kaya nga, going back kanina dun sa song na, Here I am, Lord, send me. Sino ang isisend niya kung hindi ka magsispeak dun sa workplace? Sino ang isisend niya kung hindi... Kaya nga, meron work. Kasi you need to solve the problems. You need to be there to be a blessing. So don't run away from challenges. And I'm also preaching to myself when I'm saying this. Kasi,
continuous learning kasi. Continuous yung journey. When you say na strength, alamin mo din yung mga strength mo. Minsan, ang hirap i-balance niyan, Kriz. Paano kung ang sasabihin nila, Ma'am Kriz, paano yun? Ito yung gusto kong gawin. Feeling ko dito ako strong. Pero parang hindi pala talaga. Kailan mo masasabi na parang pinipilit mo lang? Hindi ka pala para dyan or hindi pala yan yung strength mo.
Pag nagko-closing doors. Right? Tapos, di ba, sa generation natin, Gen MZ, parang, ayoko na, nakailang try na ako eh. But if you think about it, sino yung mga, I will not name names, of course, but the people na sobrang sikat ngayon in the business or even in the industry, no, sila yung mga nag-try, nag-fail, but kept going. Kasi, challenges produces character. And character produces endurance. And for you to be able to really parang navigate the workplace, you need to have that character, yung grit na tinatawag.
So hanggat hindi ka nakakakita ng pinagsasaraduhan ka na ng pinto, don't stop.
I think we need to build, yung generation natin, we need to build people who are not only IQ, not only EQ, kasi medyo sikat na yun. I mean, IQ is in sa mind, di ba? EQ is emotions.
Emotional.
But we also need to build people, coming from an L&D perspective, we also need to build people na AQ, mataas yung quotient. And what is AQ? Di ba yun yung adversity quotient?
Okay.
Kasi ang dami sa atin na parang, ayoko na, nag-fail na ako eh. But don't let that failure define you. Kasi hindi naman natatapos yung identity mo because you failed. For example, I failed an exam sa work. Diba? Did that stop me from doing what I love to do? No. That also reminds us that we're human. We're not perfect, but we can improve.
Correct. Paano naman kung ang drive nilang lumipat na or umalis na sa pinagtatrabahuhan ngayon? Miss Kriz, ang toxic na ng workplace ko. Anong ma-advise mo sa kanila?
Ako, from someone who've experienced depression and anxiety, I highly suggest that you pause and ask God, Lord, can I rest? That's the first. Kung toxic na kasi, parati diba as someone who grew up in church also, sasabihin, kulang ka lang sa faith. No, you also need to factor in na nasa workplace, iba yung laban dun. Ibang laban ng toxic workplace. May effect yan sa mental health mo tsaka emotional health mo. So, going back, ang standard natin parate is yung word ni God. Ask God, is it time to go? Kasi if it's time to go, He will open the door.
Okay.
But if it's still time to stay, what I've noticed, God did this to me, and I hope that you also seek God. No, ang napapansin ko kay Lord, He will give you the grace. He will give you the strength. I can do all things.
To endure pa rin, no?
Yes. Kasi it's for His glory. At the end of the day, glory niya yung makikita ng tao, nahihirapan to pero kinakaya niya. Kasi may God siya. Yun yung importante. To give Him all the glory. Kasi dun I think what that separates us as believers. We're not just believing. We need to follow Him. Whether it's good or whether it's a challenging situation. And that's where His light, di ba parang ganito, His light shines in darkness and the darkness could not overtake it. Dark nga yung workplace kasi yung dami ngang toxic people, for example.
Or systems, di ba?
Systems, di ba? Or culture na hindi maganda. And who will be the hands and feet of God? Balik ako dun sa sinabi ko kanina, right? But us, as we follow Him, He will give us the grace. And that separates us from the rest of the people. Not entitled don't get me wrong. But what I'd like to say, Cheska, is that yung makikita ba nila na, ay, nahihirapan siya, pero ang galing, na-pull off ni God. Yung project na to. Ang galing. Nagkaroon ng way where there seems to be no way. Yung mga ganong eksena, that is the best way to witness in a world where it's so dark.
Normal lang daw maramdaman na baka nagtataka sila sa sarili nila. Ilang beses na ako napagod. Sabi ko, Miss Kriz, ayoko na. I will quit na talaga or lilipat na ako. Tapos siguro nagbakasyon ka lang saglit. Tapos parang feeling mo, parang okay na ulit ako. Tapos mapapagod ka na naman. Tapos after some time, parang, hindi, parang kaya pa. Is it a normal phase? Or it's signaling something already?
I think if it's, I think it's something that we need to really find a balance. Kasi, remember, tayo rin, we're like we reflect the image and likeness of God. So, having said that, ang gusto ko i-point is, we're also like the Trinity, Father, Son, the Holy Spirit, in the sense na, we have spirit and soul. We also have the body to take care of. So, you need to find a balance. Kung remember, God is a God of order. So, we need to ask Him everything. Even yung, alam mo yun, yung parang, pagka nagkakaroon na ng chaos sa mind natin, sa heart natin.
Baka kulang ka na ng pahinga.
Yeah. Kasi sometimes we operate na sobra naman tayong mag-work. I know someone, 4 hours lang siya natutulog every day.
Sobrang ginagaling.
Oo, diba? Parang we're not machines. We're humans. And may limitations tayo. I know that we reflect the image and likeness of God, but at the end of the day, we're not God. We're 100% human, but we're not 100% God. In the sense na, on our own, weak tayo. So we need His power. His power is made perfect in our weakness.
Hindi daw ba sweldo lang ang determinant ng kung saan ako magsistay at saan ako lilipat o saan ako mag-a-apply?
Yeah, hindi siya. Hindi yun ang reason to stay. If we say we follow Him, not
Money.
Kasi, alam mo, pag chinace mo yung money, it's also a form of idolatry. And I admit, during my early career days, ang decision ko parate is money. Pero na-realize ko, do you want to know a secret? Meron ako napanood na isang, hindi pa uso podcast nun eh. Back in the day, ang uso yung sa TV, may mapapanood ka ng mga Christian shows. Like,
mga testimonials.
Ganyan. Sabi doon, if you want to get rich, mag-tithe ka. So, can I tell you my testimony about that? Each time that I tithe, back in the day, hindi ko na sasabihin ko anong year.
Baka makalculate nila.
Baka makalculate nila yung age ko. Pero, each time that I tithe higher, ang galing, the following year, yun yung nagiging increase ng salary ko.
Oh, kasi ang tithing o yung pagbibigay ng ikapo, 'di ba?
Yeah.
Tithe. Yan ay nasa Bible. It's God's challenge for us. So ikaw, mukhang challenge mo rin si God?
Yes. Naalala ko before, I started with 100 pesos.
Yun ang tithe mo.
Unang tithe ko nung college ako kasi yung allowance ko 1,000. Tapos, yung first few jobs ko, nawalan talaga ako ng pera. So, I had to borrow the car of my parents, went to the church, and then, yung laman ng wallet ko, I'm not kidding yung coin purse na lang ngayon natira. Siyempre, may gas naman ako, alam mo yun, may pangpunta sa church. In short, sabi ko, Lord, dito na lang yung laman ng wallet ko.
Yan ay last pera mo talaga?
Last pera ko.
Okay.
And then, naalala ko yung story sa Bible, yung widow, naghulog ng coins. Ting!
Yun na lang ang pera niya last.
And that was like me. As in, yun na lang yung last ko ng pera. Sabi ko, Lord, by faith, gusto ko ulit magkaroon ng trabaho. Wala akong trabaho nito back in 2010. And then, sabi ko, pengin naman ako ng pang seed na money na panggastos ko, pang apply. I know my parents can provide, but I want to experience you. And this was back in the day na nagsisik na ako kay God. Nagbabasa na ako ng mga Christian books, Bible, a bit of Proverbs. Proverbs is a book of wisdom, di ba? Practical advice. So sabi ko, sige nga Lord, try ko nga to. So hinulog ko. Alam mo, that seed money, someone gave me, parang October ako nagbigay, December may nagbigay sa akin ng 2,000. And then eventually, January 2011, may nagbigay ulit ng 2,000. Sabi ko, Lord, wait lang. Parang 500 ka ng 500. Yung tinatights ko, 2,000 yung bumabalik. Lalakihan ko nga, ginawa kong 1,000. Alam mo, may nagbigay sa akin ng 20,000.
Wow. Parang exponential naman yung blessing ni Lord.
Oo. And alam mo naman, during that day, sobrang laki na rin nun. Even ngayon, kung wala kang trabaho, malaki yun. And, of course, I will not share naman the numbers. To be honest lang, it's just that, dahil na-try ko si Lord dun sa 3 digits, ngayon na-try ko siya sa bigger digits. Yun na lang yung gusto kong sabihin. Na God is faithful. If we only allow Him. Kasi remember, He's also a gentleman.
Correct.
Hindi siya hindi siya mamimilit sa'yo. He will give you, as we've said earlier, He will give you props. Pero it's up to you if you will believe.
Or kung gagamitin mo. Or kung
Yes.
tatanggapin mo.
Kasi ngayon, ang daming naniniwala sa influencers. Pero do we believe God?
Yun, di ba? Maraming guilty ngayon dyan. Baka mas naniniwala tayo sa tao, sa product, or sa any claim, kaysa kay God. Any promises, di ba?
Di ba? Mas naniniwala tayo, for example, not to badmouth anyone, but yung mga sinasabi ng influencer, ay sinabi ni ganito, tatandaan mo pa yung quotable quote na sinabi ng tao yun, or yung what they said. Do we remember ano yung nabasa mo kanina dun sa quiet time mo? Or are we, balik ako dun sa na-mention ko kanina, taste and see that the Lord is good. Kumakain tayo, for example, ng snack, and that will not supply all our energy for the entire day. But if we eat a meal, full meal, nutritious, alam mo yun, healthy meal, it's like that when we read the Bible. If we really want to develop a relationship with Him, sit with Him. Alam mo, be a Mary and spend time with God na parang, oh Lord, nakakatuwa ka naman. Para kang husband when you need a husband. Para kang lawyer kapag kailangan ko ng defendant. Para kang healer, para kang doktor kapag kailangan ko ng healer. Alam mo yun? If we only spend time with Him.
So, paghahanap ng trabaho, paglipat ng trabaho, pagstay sa trabaho, or yung iba, negosyo ang gustong umpisan. Ayoko na mag-employment, magne-negosyo na lang ako. Sa lahat ng to, bago ka magdesisyon o bago ka gumawa ng any action, importanteng pinagpe-pray mo. Pinaghahandaan mo. Nakikinig ka kay God, binabasa mo ang Bible. Hindi yung kapag naramdaman mo na, although may mga tips kang sinabi na kapag naramdaman mo na wala ka ng zest, wala ka ng interest, hindi yung go na agad. Drastic decisions.
Yes, yes. And naalala ko lang, I haven't mentioned, I think you know this because we're friends, but I also have a small business. So each time na magpo-post ako ng product, kasi I have a IG handle, di ba? Pinagpipray ko yun. Sabi ko, Lord, I pray that you reach the right person. I don't want to gain too much money, but I hope that this person also will be blessed dun sa product na binibili nila from me. So I remember, can I just say this? She bought that product. Parang ilan yung items na binili niya. Ang dami. Tapos sabi ko, yay!
Answered prayer pala.
Answered prayer pala yun. Pero nakakatuwa kasi happy ka rin dun sa product. At the same time, ako din, alam mo yun, it's a balance. So, not only at work, but also kahit sa small business or if you have a big business, I'd like to say, always tithe. I tithe. Alam mo yung parang, ginawa ko pa kahit small na yung business ko. As in, ang kita ko naman dun sa business na yun, parang pangbili ko lang din ng, well, I will not name names, but I'm selling bags. So bags and wallets. So, si Cheska bought, alam mo yun, parang yung mga profits ko from that, I just buy it for a treat for myself na bag din from the same product. But what I do, I'd like to point this out, is that nag-excel pa ako na parang, Lord, sorry, hindi ko pala na-type to. Nakalimutan ko pala nagbayad.
Ina-account mo talaga.
Yeah. Accounted siya na parang, di bale ng konti yung profit, pero honest ako kay God na
nabigay
ako.
ko yung tithe ko.
Oo. And alam mo kung bakit ako naging ganun parang strong yung faith ko in terms of tithing. There was a time in my life na tight yung budget. Of course, I'm not a nepo baby. I work really hard for what I have right now. So what I'm saying is, yung time na sobrang tight ng budget, sobrang tight ng money, sabi ko, as in tight na T-I-G-H-T, hindi T-I-T-H-T.
Tight na tight ang budget.
Sabi ko, Lord, bakit ano pong mali? Ba't ganito yung nangyayari? Nagtatrabaho naman ako. Sinunod ko naman yung sinabi mong magstay sa trabahong to.
Okay.
Why is this happening? Yun pala, mali yung tithe ko. Mali yung tithe ko. And maraming nagsasabi ngayon, old naman na yung tithing, huwag ka na mag-tithe. Parents, pero sabi, test me on this. See if I will not open the floodgates of heaven. Ang gusto ko i-pitch or i-share sa lahat is that if you can be trusted with little, you can be trusted with much.
Actually, yung tithing nga daw is not a challenge about money. It's a heart issue.
Exactly.
Diba? Na willing ka ba na i-accept yung challenge? Hindi lang yung gano kara. Kasi nga naman, kung hindi ka match-challenge sa kakaunti, Lord, dito na nga lang sweldo ko. What more? Kung bibigyan ka ni God ng millions.
Right. And na-encourage din ako. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not. Pero na-encourage ako kasi, and ito din yung gusto ko i-share. That's the importance of being in a community of believers. Kasi when I went to this church, nakita ko yung mga tao, bakit sila level-headed? Not happy always, but joyful always, whether in good or bad times. And nakikita ko nag-thrive talaga sila sa career nila, sa business nila. Sabi ko, Lord, I wanna be like that. And God is faithful. Yung dating pinagpipray ko, ako na yun ngayon. Na people and even younger, I will not name names. Not name names. I will not reveal my age. Pero, sasabihin nila, ate, wow, I want to have an income like that, or I want to tithe like that too. And I always say this to them, kasi sabi ko sa kanila, then you should start small. Basta by faith. Kasi ang tinitignan naman ni Lord yung heart mo.
Hindi yung amount ng binigay mo kung gaano kalaki or gaano kaliit yan. So, Kriz, sa pagpili ng career, trabaho, negosyo, or kung ano man, sabi mo nga, may mga kailangan kang i-observe na mga pointers na sinabi mo kanina. But at the end of the day, you ask God, mahabaan man ako dito or hanggang retirement na yata ako dito or ako yung i-jump mo from one career to another. It's all about God's beautiful timing. Diba? Ecclesiastes says, 3 verse 11, He has made everything beautiful in His time. Napatunayan mo yun.
Oh, yes. Na sa dami ng nilipatan kong work, each time nalilipat ako, ang galing ng timing. And yung bakit importante yung timing ng paglipat? For example, kasi He's also preparing you, that's the first. And He's also preparing the other people that will be involved in that story. Ang minsan kasi, or not minsan, most of the time, we think it's all about us. Mas madali ang buhay kapag we always point back everything for Him and Him alone. Every time that we look to ourselves, dalawa yung pwedeng mangyari. Pwede kang maging anxious or pwede kang maging entitled. And if you want to be level-headed and balanced, the way to do that is to look to Him.
Look up.
Look up. Yung ganun yung, kung meron man akong iwan, yun yung gusto ko talagang iwan. If you always like to seek Him and then say that you want to follow Him, best way to do it is to be intentional and spend time with Him.
Kaya kung ang tanong mo ngayon sa season mo, Lord, saan ba ako talaga? Para dito ba talaga ako? Lilipat na ba ako? Magdenegosyo ba ako? Or mag-a-abroad ba ako? Have you asked God already? Yan ang iniwan sa atin ni Kriz Muñoz. Kriz, once again, maraming salamat. Thank you for sharing your expertise. Di ba? Hindi lang expertise, kundi mga experiences mo na ikaw mismo ang nakaranas nito. Hindi lang dahil sa trabaho mo yan. Nagda-train ka ng maraming people. Ito yung talagang naging journey mo with the Lord in terms of your faith.
Yes. Thank you also for having me here kasi this is really a good platform to share who our God is. I mean, if people are watching this right now and you feel uncertain in your season, I think it's not a coincidence that you're watching this video because may purpose si God for all of us. And if we allow Him to really use us, and not use us, hindi naman user-friendly si Lord, but what I mean is, if we allow Him in our lives, ang sarap magmahal ni Lord, lalo na as I've mentioned, it's the love month. So I hope that you experience the love of God because at the end of the day, it's not about religion, but it's about having a relationship with Him.
Paano binago si Kriz Muñoz ng kanyang pananampalataya kay God bago magdesisyon, bago lumipat, o bago talaga magdesisyon na magstay sa isang trabaho o isang lugar, isang phase ng buhay? Kinokonsulta muna niya ang ating Panginoon. Sana marami po kayo natutunan at sana na-inspire kayo sa ating kwentuhan ngayong episode na ito. Nakasama natin si Kriz Muñoz, nakasama niya rin po Cheska San Diego-Bobadilla.